Hello guys. Uh, I'm having something interesting here for mathematics grade 12 learners, which is sequence and series. We'll be looking at sequence and series. I know it's the first chapter, or most likely you're going to face this chapter of sequence and series at the beginning of the year, grade 12. So let's go through the sequence and series and see what we have in sequence and series. Okay, sequence and series. So we are going to face three types of sequence. There will be three types of sequence and series. I mean, three types of sequence. So let us look at those types of sequence that you will be facing in grade 12. We are going to look at arithmetic sequence, geometric sequence, quadratic sequence. These are the types of sequence that you will be facing as a grade 12 learners: arithmetic, geometric, and quadratic sequence. And I'm quite sure that you have already started with this sequence and series, so you are familiar with these three types of sequence: arithmetic, geometric, and quadratic. I'll just rush through the opening. uh, Arithmetic sequence. Let's start with arithmetic sequence. What is actually arithmetic sequence? Arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. This is a key word. When we talk about arithmetic sequence, we talk about a sequence with a common difference. So it's important to understand what is a common difference, because we are saying arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. So what is a common difference? A common difference implies that term number 2 minus term number 1 is equal to term number 3 minus term number 2. So once you realize that term number 2 subtracting term 1 is equal to term 3 subtracting term 2, that is a common difference. I know mathematics can be understood with examples, so you will understand what is a common difference when I show an example. But just remember, arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. So let us look at the example here. We have a sequence 258. So the question is, what type of a sequence is this? So let us check if we have a common difference. Let's take term number 2. Remember, this is term 1, this is term 2, this is term 3. 2 is term 1, 5 is term 2, 8 is term 3. So let us take term 2 and subtract term 1. So let's say 5 minus 2, we realize that is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Then let's take term 3 and subtract term 2. 8 minus 5. Term 3 is 8. Term 2 is 5. So 8 minus 5 as well as 3. So you see that the difference between 5 and 2 is 3. And the difference between 8 and 5 is 3. So this 3 is called a common difference. So this sequence 258 is the arithmetic sequence. What makes it to be the arithmetic sequence? It's a common difference. The sequence has a common difference. It's very important, guys, to understand this one. Let's say we have got a sequence 1 6 11. 1 6 11. Let's check. What is term 1 in this case? It's 1. What is term 2? It's 6. What is term 3? It's 11. So let us look at the difference between term 2 and term 1. Term 2 is 6. Term 1 is 1. So the difference is 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. So let us look at the difference between term 3 and term 2. 11 minus 6 as well as 5. So 5 is a common difference. So an arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. Yeah, here I was saying since term 2 minus term 1 is equal to term 3 minus term 2. 5 minus 2, 8 minus 5. Actually, this explains everything that I was talking about. The sequence is arithmetic sequence because of a common difference. What about this sequence? This sequence here. What about this sequence here? Wait. Something is not going the way I want it. Yes, but my pen, it seems as if my pen is no longer writing. Let me check what's wrong. Who? Oh yeah. What about this sequence? -3, 1, and 5. This sequence here. Do you think it's an arithmetic sequence? Remember, arithmetic sequence should have a common difference. So we just have to check the difference between term 2 and term 1. Term 2 it's 1. You can see that term 2 it's 1. And term 1 it's -3. So we're going to say minus 3. So term 2 minus term 1 it's 4. Make sure that you get that. 1 minus -3 it's 4. And then let's check at term 3 minus term 2. Term 3 it's 5, term 2 it's 1. So 5 minus 1 it's 4. So this sequence as well, -3, 1, 5, it's an arithmetic sequence because of a common difference. Because of a common difference. Here actually term 2 minus term, explain everything that I was talking about here. The sequence is arithmetic. Okay. Now, this one is very, very important. We talked about an arithmetic sequence. We talked about an arithmetic sequence. Remember? And we said, I don't like where I'm writing because, let me write maybe somewhere here. We talked about an arithmetic sequence. We said arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. And we know what is a common difference. Now I'm going to another important part of an arithmetic sequence, which is to be able to find the general term. So we're saying it is important, in this case, it is important to be able to determine the general term. We need to know how do we find the general term. In this case, I'm talking about the general term of the arithmetic sequence. How do we find the general term of the arithmetic sequence? Very, 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 very important. Let's check. Let's see here. And B, a general term is a useful expression or it's a useful formula of the sequence. It's very, very, very important, guys, grade 12 learners, to be able to find the general term, because it's this general term, it's a very useful expression. Okay, let me continue here and say, let's determine the general term of this sequence, 2, 5, 8. Let's determine the general term of the sequence, 2, 5, 8. And B, the sequence is arithmetic, therefore use this formula. Use this formula, guys. Use this expression to determine the general term. Every time when you want to determine the general term of the arithmetic sequence, use this expression, Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 d. This expression here, this formula here, use it to find the general term of the arithmetic sequence. I'm saying it again. Tn equals to A plus n minus 1d, this formula here, use it to find the general term of the arithmetic sequence. And A on the formula denote the first term. I was trying to explain variables on the formula. So I'm saying this A here that you see on the formula denote the first term of the sequence. Actually, let's go to the sequence. Remember, our sequence is 2, 5, 8. And we are saying A is the first term of the sequence. What is the first term on the sequence? When we go to the sequence, which number comes first? Is 2. So this 2, it's A, the first term of the sequence. A denotes the first term of the sequence. N denotes the number of terms. So N just represent the number of terms. And let me say this one now. When you are looking for a general term, do not substitute N. Do not substitute N. Just leave N the way it is. Do not put anything. When I say do not substitute, don't say N is 18. Don't say N is 19. Just leave N as it is. When we are looking for a general term, just leave N as it is. We know N denotes the number of terms. It's talking about how many terms. You know, you can make a mistake of saying, in this case, I will say N is free, because you will be saying they are free terms. It's 2, 5, 8. If you are looking for a general term, don't substitute N. Just leave it. Just leave N as it is. Now, what about D? Okay, let's see. D is the common difference. We talked about the common difference already. My God. We talked about the common difference already. We said the common difference is 3. Remember? 5 minus 2, it's 3. 8 minus 5 as well is 3. So the common difference is 3. D on the formula represent the common difference. Just hoping the pen is still working. D here represent the common difference. And what is the common difference of this sequence? 2, 5, 8. It's 3. Okay, let's carry on. Oh, that was so fast. Okay, now here I was substituting on the formula. I said A is 2 because A represents the first term of the sequence, and I just left it as it is. When I'm looking for a general term, I don't substitute N. And then D, it's 3, is the common difference. Now let's carry on. Okay, interesting. Here I applied distributive property. Distributive property, if you look at this part, you can tell that we needed to remove the bracket. So, which is 3, it's outside the bracket. Multiply every term inside the bracket. So we say 3 times N, it's 3N. We say 3 times negative 1. 3 times negative 1, it's a negative 3. And from here, we deal with algebra. We add like terms. 2 minus 3. These are numbers, ne? 2 and 3 are numbers. So we're going to deal with like terms, deal with numbers together. So the general term is 3n minus 1. Tn equals to 3n minus 1. It's our general term of the arithmetic sequence. Tn equals to 3n minus 1 is the general term of our arithmetic sequence. Now, I want to explain clearly now, what is this general term? We say a general term is a rule that can be used to find any term on the sequence. A general term is a rule that can be used to find any term on the sequence. Okay, let me say, suppose I'm looking for term number 4. I want to know what is term number 4 on the sequence. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a general rule to find term number 4. Let me say, okay, Tn equals to 3n minus 1. Remember, this is a general term, which I said is a rule to find any term on the sequence. So I want to find term number 4. I want to use this rule to find term number 4. So I'm going to say T of 4, meaning that where there is n, I put 4 because I'm looking for term number 4. So I'm going to say 3 into where there is n, I put 4 minus 1. T of 4 equals to 12 minus 1. T of 4 is equals to 11. This means that term number 4 is 11. Is this true? Let's check. Let's go to the sequence. The sequence say term number 2, term number 1 is 2. Term number 2, it's 5. It's important to see that from term number 1 to term number 2, 3 was added, right? Term number 2, it's 5. Term number 2, term number 3, it's 8. So to move from term number 2 to term number 3, 3 was added. So let's add 3 to find term number 4, it's 11. 8 plus 3, it's 11. So you see that term number 4 is indeed 11. The general term was able to find term number 4. Now, mathematicians are very smart. We maybe perhaps the question now can say find term number 50. Just use the general term. You say Tn equals to 3n minus 1. T of 50 because you are looking for term number 50. 3 into 50 minus 1. 150 minus 1. T of 50, it's 149. Term number 50, it's 149. Remember, what is a general term? A rule that can be used to find any term on the sequence. How do we find a general term? Use this formula here. The formula is a general term of 258. Tn equals to 3n minus 1 is a general term of 258. It's a general term of the sequence. The general term can be used to find any term on the sequence. I explained that. You can find term number 4, whatever term that you are looking for. For example, find term number 8. The question says find term number 8. This means that where you see n in this case, where you see n, you are going to put 8. So let's see what's happening here. Since we know general term, it's easy to find term 8. Since we know the general term is the one which is important now. It helps us to find any term. It's going to be easy to find term number 8. Why? Because we know the general term. This is the general term. First thing that you do, you write down the general term. 3n minus 1. I wrote it. Where there is n, you put 8. Wherever you see n, you put 8. It was 3n, now it's 3 into 8. Where there is n, you put 8. Term number 8 is 23. 3 times 8, 8, 16, 24. 24 minus 1, 23. Okay? Now, determine the general term of minus 3, 1, 5. Okay? Okay. Let me try to be slower on this one. I don't want to find myself rushing through the content. Let me try to be slow on this one. Determine the general term of the sequence minus 3, 1, and 5. Now, okay, actually it's very important. It's very important to know type of sequence, to know the type of sequence. Remember, we said there are 3 types of sequence. So it's very important, guys, to first identify the sequence. Which sequence are we dealing with? Is it the sequence arithmetic? I'm talking about this sequence. Minus 3, 1, 5. What type of a sequence is it? Is it arithmetic sequence? Is it geometric? Is it quadratic sequence? Let's check. What type of a sequence is this? I'm going to check first if it's arithmetic sequence. This is the first thing that I'm going to check. I want to check if the sequence is arithmetic sequence. How will I know that the sequence minus 3, 1, 5 is the arithmetic sequence? How will I know that is the arithmetic sequence? Do you know what is an arithmetic sequence? We talked about it. We said arithmetic sequence is a sequence with a common difference. It's a sequence with a common difference. And we said the common difference means term 2 minus term 1 should be equals to term 3 minus term 2. So let's check. Let's check. Is it term 2 minus term 1 equivalent? Is it equals to term 3 minus term 2? My term 2 here, it's 1. My term 1, it's minus 3. So if you say 1 minus minus 3, you'll get 4. If you subtract term 2 with term 1, you'll get 4. And then if you subtract term 3 with term 2, you will get 4. So this sequence is arithmetic. This sequence is arithmetic because it has a common difference, which is 4. I'm hoping that you are getting this. Now, don't lose focus. Remember, the question wants you to find the general term. But I say it is important to identify the type of sequence first. Don't rush into into calculating the general term. Identify the type of sequence first. Which sequence are you dealing with? Are you dealing with arithmetic? Are you dealing with geometric? Are you dealing with quadratic? Which sequence are you working with? This is a arithmetic sequence. So let's carry on. That's why I'm using this formula. Tn equals to a plus n minus 1d. Don't forget, this formula, we use it to find a general term of arithmetic sequence. Once you realize that the sequence is arithmetic, you can use this formula. Tn equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So let's see. Okay, makes sense. Remember, we said a is the first term on the sequence, and the first term here was minus 3. So it makes sense that where there is a, I put minus 3. A is the first term on the sequence. And then I said, if you are looking for a general term, don't substitute n. D, remember, is the common difference. So the common difference here, it's 4. So what we are going to do, we are going to apply distributive property now. I'm just going to talk about this part. N minus 1, 4. N minus 1, outside the brackets is 4. Now, the idea is to remove the brackets, use a distributive law. There is a law in mathematics called a distributive law. What are we distributing? We are distributing 4. So we are going to take this 4, multiply every guy inside the bracket. So it's going to be 4 times n, 4n, 4 times negative 1, negative 4. So let's check the steps that follows after minus 3 plus n minus 1, 4. Good. This part is this one. We applied distributive law. Now from here you work with like terms. Sorry, that was a mistake. From here you are going to work with like terms. What I've done, I just said minus 3 and minus 4 gives me minus 7. So Tn equals to 4n minus 7 is a general term of the sequence of this sequence, minus 3, 1, 5. So Yep. Actually, mm, I'm facing a challenge, guys. I'll be honest with you. At this point, I don't know how to erase my ink. I don't see. Is there a way I can erase my ink? Oh, here is the eraser. Oh, good shot, good shot, good shot, good shot. Because I don't want. Yeah, I want something like this. Okay, we learn, we learn, we learn, we learn. Now let me see. Maybe I can even change the color. Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Uh, Tn equals to 4n minus 7. This is a general term. And a general term, let's talk about a general term again. A general term is a rule that can be used to find any term on the sequence. To find any term on the sequence. Okay, let me ask you this question. Go back to the sequence. You still remember the sequence? It's minus 3, 1, 5. Go back to the sequence. Which term is term 3? It's 5, right? Remember term 1, it's minus 3. Term 2, it's 1. Term 3, it's 5. Which term on the sequence is term number 3? It's 5. Now look at what the general term can do. Let me write it down again. Tn equals to 4n minus 7. The general term is able to find any term on the sequence. Let me just try to find a term number 3. I know term number 3 it's 5. Suppose I don't know term number 3. Let me try to find it. I'm going to say T, where there is n, I put 3. Because I'm looking for term number 3. T3 equals to 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. So term number 3 is 5. Term number 3 is 5. The general term is a rule to find any term on the sequence. If they say to me, find term 20, where there is n, I will simply come and put 20. Hopefully you are following. I now know how to erase. I don't want... Oh, no. Oh, there is even an highlight. I don't want to highlight. I want to erase. Yeah, I was just using this ink to explain. I don't really need it. This part. But it's consuming my time as well. Okay, let's continue. Determine the term number 5. Okay, let's determine term number 5. Determine term number 5. Determine term number 5. You can use a general term. Remember, general term can help you to find any term on the sequence. Let's see. You see? Actually, I'm using this general term. Where there is n, I just place 5. Where there is n, I place 5. So, let's see. Who? That was so quick of me. Why? But hopefully you know where 13 comes from. 4 times 5 is 20. Minus 7 is 13. So term number 5 is 13.